Hello all, we are back on the sofa. Not trying to emulate popular YouTuber Ashens, but it's probably the easiest place to film these sorts of things, with another unboxing. And what do we have this time, you may ask? Well, we have the Mega Retron HD. So if you subscribe to the channel, you may have seen my unboxing of the, what was it called? Super Retron HD. Now this is the Mega Drive equivalent, a clone console basically, that will play Mega Drive games. And this is, I think, hardware emulation, from what I remember, and it has all the features of the last console, and that 720p HD picture, a ratio switch, so you can switch between 16:9 and 4:3, and because all these games were developed in 4:3, why do you want to stretch them 16:9, I'm not sure. You get a premium controller. We'll see just how premium that controller is in a moment. NTSC to PAL switch, so you can play all those games that are a bit awkward and don't like to play on certain region systems. And again, this perfect pin technology they keep advertising on these. So without further ado, if you watch the other video, you'll know that this is a very similar setup to how they package the Super Retron HD. I think this looks particularly nice. Of course, the other console is modelled on the American Super Nintendo. This is modelled on the Genesis system, but the Genesis looks a lot more similar to the Mega Drive that we all know very well here in Europe. So again, like the Super Retron, it's got a weight to it, which is nice, makes it feel like a quality product. A little cover, so everything remains shiny, because this circle here is shiny. So this does, as well as emulating the system itself, it also manages to emulate the look of the Mega Drive in a way I think a lot of these clone consoles haven't managed to do in the past, and this is actually particularly nice to look at, and they look very nice lined up next to my other ones. Reset buttons on the front. You get your two controller ports that will take regular Mega Drive controls if you already have a Mega Drive. Power switch here, that's nice, that's familiar to those who have a Mega Drive, although I think it's horizontally aligned rather than vertically like it is here. So on the back I expect to find a switch, NTSC-J, NTSC-U and PAL. So this actually has one more setting than on the Super Retron HD. So for those games that are Japanese NTSC and US NTSC, there may be some compatibility issues, so you're all covered here. So if it's not working, just try the other options, and I'm sure you'll be able to get the game to work, because I've heard the compatibility rate on this is exceptionally high, so I don't know many games that don't work on it. I even think Virtua Racing works on it, which had a special chip in the cartridge. On the back here you've got your 16:9 4:3 switch. It's all the same as the last Super Retron console. That's your power, that's your HDMI, and also you can connect it composite, but I think from what I've seen the composite picture is not so good, so don't bother with that. I think you only really want to buy this if you're playing it in HD, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure, but it was like that on the Super Retron. So underneath there you've got, this is the instruction manual, and then in the right hand side here they've put the controller. Feels chunky, actually feels pretty good. The texture on the here it is, on the D-pad feels nice, and it actually has that movement that's feels very similar to the actual Mega Drive controller. And the buttons feel good quality. It's actually got some weight. I don't know if that's, yeah, it's pretty nice and pretty comfortable to hold. So we'll see how well that holds up when we actually play a game with it. And underneath here, or inside this extra box, oh, if we can get it out, we'll move this one out of the way, is the cables and such. So you get a HDMI lead, you get the power lead, but not the plug adapter. So in there, power is here, that's your HDMI lead, and yeah, if you want to connect it with composite cables, you've also got them inside there. I think that's everything. Yeah, empty. So that's basically it. If you're curious about the length of this, it's pretty long, so I don't think you'll have any problems with lengths of the stretching to your sofa from the console, which is probably going to be by your television. And yeah, it's what it looks like, and it's pretty cool. So here we are. Now by default this is set to NTSC-U because it's primarily available in America. I got mine from Germany. But yeah, so it's set up for American cartridges first and foremost, but I just flipped the switch to PAL for a copy of Sonic Compilation, which is Sonic 1, 2 and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So that fits nicely in there, not a struggle to actually get that into the console at all. And just turn it on, we're all plugged in, ready to go. We've got our Mega Drive controller. They've got rid of the Hyperkin screen, so if I move this up here, it starts right away. Sorry if that's a bit loud, because on the Super Retron HD it actually had a screen come up that said Hyperkin before you you played, but here it doesn't. It's playing full screen. Remember, this is a PAL copy of the game, so you can tell it's PAL by the speed of that music actually. Wow, this it looks good, it sounds good, the controller feels good, response time feels right. Of course you can't spin dash in there, so I can't really notice any latency here. Sonic seems to be reacting as you'd expect. I'll just try and play a bit more of the level to see if it feels right. Of course ideally you want to be playing this game in its proper speed, so that would involve turning it to NTSC sorry, U or J, depending. I think it should work on either. But let's try that now. Yep, already from the music you can tell that this is running at the speed it should be. But for those used to the PAL version, it's I can't imagine it'll be a problem playing the game in PAL, because you're used to that speed anyway. But I think more so nowadays on various compilations and stuff, I've been playing this full speed NTSC version of the game. But it looks great, sounds great. I'm very impressed with this right now. Let's try some other region cartridges and see what happens, shall we? So I would assume we're not going to have any problems here with American Genesis game here. It is Adventure of Batman and Robin, the first one I pulled out. Pop that in the top. Turn it on. We're set to NTSC-U right now. So full screen straight away. It's a good looking game. Sorry about the light on the screen here, but yeah, this plays great. So those two cartridges, of course, we've just tried are both the same shape. But of course the Japanese cartridges are a different shape if you're familiar with them. They look like this, a Japanese Mega Drive cartridge. So that should fit in. So as you can see there, that fits in nicely. We'll just try out the game now. We're still at NTSC-U. I'm just curious to see if this actually works or not before we change it to NTSC-J. So yeah, it works in NTSC-U. I assume it won't work in PAL, but I think that's on a game by game basis. So some games need to be on the correct region to work. Maybe if you just leave the console NTSC-U and see how far you get, that's probably the best way to do it. But this is playing fine. This is DJ Boy, pretty cool and unique side-scrolling beat 'em up, where you're on roller skates. Can get quite hard, but it is a game of a certain era, so that's what you'd expect. This is also released in the US. I think it had another name, and the graphics were changed a little in certain places. You may see some flicker on the picture that I'm recording. There's none there on the screen. That's just something the video camera seems to be doing. But actually when playing to the screen you don't notice any sort of flickering images at all. So there we have it. I'll pause that. That's the Mega Retron HD. There it is. Down there, wonderful system. I can recommend this to anybody who's got an interest in Mega Drive and wants to enjoy their Mega Drive games in 720p on their HD television. So thanks very much for checking out the video, and until we see you again for another one, it's goodbye and game on.